there's still hope, you know, and I want them to know that them living up to their full potential is what needs to be done. So it reminds other people to do the same thing. It's going to create a ripple effect.
Yeah, I got a friend named Complete that always says happy ripple. You know, happy ripple.
Yeah.
That made me think of Complete, you know, like, you know, when I started this journey doing these live videos, trying to be okay, be comfortable in my own shoes, you know, being that and acknowledging uh, what I wasn't at the same time. And it's an incredible journey, Clifford. I mean, I even went so far as to create an alter ego for a time.
Yeah.
And you know, my friend Mike Chavez piped in today on where I was watching one of his videos, and he boosted it up, and he put me on, you know, on his live voucher, said Rick Ely, and he says the birth of Eli, and I thought, wow, yeah, that alter ego that I had created to step into this space, into this place now, which is being the authentic self, being comfortable in my own shoes of humanity, and expressing that, right, unabashedly, but being that authentic self that is where the reward is. That's where that stepping into that place of where you can do that. That's where the richness is. And Taterbug, okay, I love you. You want to give me a big hug? You want to? I'm doing a live video on Facebook. Love you. Thank you. I'll see you soon.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. I love you. I'll see you soon.
Yeah.
Right? I mean, this is I get to be that, which it is I want to experience. And man, you inspire me. Thank you. Thank you for allowing me to be that, to be comfortable in my own shoes, to be me. And I don't want to say a soft landing, dude, because you're an MMA fighter and you kick some serious ass. Right? I mean,
Yeah.
I'm just learning some martial arts right now with my friend Steve, who's he's a master. Nice. But I mean, I recognize that I need to, you need all of it. It's not just, and you are all of it. Right? I mean, you're all of it.
Yeah.
Balancing the fact that you're all of it.
Yeah.
You got this.
I mean, just off of what you were saying, balancing the fact that you're all of it. You know, I talk about being kind to people, be loving, be the best you can be. And sometimes people miss the message and miss the boat because they say, what, you just want us to love? And it's like, yeah, love in an unconditional, powerful way. Love powerfully. Love yourself and love others. Stand for yourself and stand for others. Stand for light. You know, I was talking about shining the light. It's about standing for light. And right now we got to stand for light. You know, we stand for light even when bad stuff is happening. We stand for light. Even when tough times are happening, we stand for light. Because let's just think about how crazy things are going right now, right? And we think it's this, we're looking for these answers. We're looking for all these answers that sometimes are right in front of us. For instance, if you're with your significant other and you're both angry at each other, how does that help anything? And you're so busy trying to get your point across, how does that help anything? And that's with two people. Now magnify that. And so the sooner someone can actually look within, and that's why I call awakening the greatness within, awaken the greatness within. Look within, take responsibility of your part. It's not to say, well, you're 70% wrong and I'm only 30% wrong. Take responsibility for your part, because it allows other people to actually start taking responsibility for theirs.
Yeah, I can think of so many examples, and oftentimes I got to remind myself that I'm not the only one in the game, right? So when I want to share something, an experience of my life, I have to respect the privacy of others, whether they're in my family or not in my family, or it doesn't really matter. You know, you have to respect the privacy of others. This is, and I want to be that. You know, I want to be that. I want to be sensitive, and I want to be compassionate to where people are in, you know, in the moment, in the world, and yet be that which it is I am, which is calm, which is at peace, which is like when I drove down to San Diego. You know, yeah, I can experience the dichotomy. I can experience the dichotomy, right? I mean, I can see where people are living in a place of fear,
Mm.
where that's coming from fear, and still be that peace and not be, whew, not be mixed up or confused in it. Does that make any kind of sense, Clifford? Because I have even my daughter, even my 10-year-old daughter, said to me, he said, Daddy, she sat on her bed and she was darn near in tears, and she said, Dad, aren't you aware of what's going on in the world? Aren't you aware? And she was this pleading of, aren't you aware of what's going on in the world? And I certainly am aware. You know,
Yeah.
certainly I'm aware. I'm just not caught up. You know, I'm just being that which it is I want to experience. And watch you inspire every day, come out and be that.
Yeah.
And I've never found more freedom and I've never found more freedom in being authentic. And it's not that fear doesn't exist. It's not, it's, what is that? That healthy balance of, you're not afraid to die, Clifford. I'm not afraid to die. I, I'm really not afraid of death. At the end of the story, I think
Yeah.
that there
You
is
know,
this.
I said I like to speak to the soul,
Okay,
and I do my best to speak to the soul. Oh, did you freeze on me?
it may have.
Yep, looks like you did.
Okay, now you
I
appear to
wonder
be.
if you can hear me, because I cannot
I can
even
hear
hear
you.
you right now.
Yeah, I can hear you.
Okay, now I can hear you. Okay, you froze up for a second.
Yeah, it just showed that I had an unstable internet connection for. Go figure. You got a gig, and it said you're unstable.
Yeah.
What's stable?
True that. So what I was saying is speaking to the soul, and this is what I love about the complexities of the world, because it's complex. You know, the world is a complex place. And your daughter was saying, Dad, aren't you aware? Aren't you aware of what's going on? And sometimes the most important thing is, even if you're even more aware than that person, to go into their awareness and ask them, well, what's going on and what do you think we should do about it?
Yeah, it's the questions, right? This is an inside job, but so often we get outside of ourselves, and we need those that we can trust, that are kind of like guiding rails that, not even just rails, right? Somebody that's going to help you get to where your peak performance. Because I'm tired of playing bumper carty, dude.
Mm-hmm.
I've bashed into the rail enough. I'm tired of hitting my head against the wall. I don't want to play that game anymore. So I get to be that which it is I want to experience.
Mm-hmm.
How do we cultivate more of that?
How do we get that?
Mm-hmm. How do we cultivate more of that?
Well, there was a story, and I'm probably going to butcher it a little bit, but you'll get the point, and I know the audience will get the point. So there was a golden Buddha, right? And then people would pay attention to this Buddha and preach next to this Buddha and truly appreciate the Buddha fully. And then one day, the Buddha leaves started growing around the Buddha, and then there was a concrete encasing around the Buddha, and people started paying less and less attention to it. So one day, people just stopped paying attention to it altogether. And a little boy saw like a little piece of golden sparkle, and he started like chipping at that little piece of golden sparkle. And what happened was a part of the stone came off, and you could see the gold again. And so he started uncasing all of that stuff, and everyone could see that it was a golden Buddha again. And so everyone went around the golden Buddha. And so what the presence of that is, we all have golden Buddha in us. We just sometimes forget that. We're too busy looking at everything else that's going on instead of taking the moment to go inside. Because when we go inside, that's where our peace lies. That's where we find our clarity. That's where we find our passion. That's where we find our answers.
Yeah, I couldn't agree more. I couldn't agree more. It's but along the journey, you meet yourself along the way.
Yeah.
Meet yourself along the way, and when you're kind to strangers, when you're kind and you're compassionate, when you're that which it is you want to experience, you experience that. I I have a challenge with my attention span at times. I can get bored really easy, really quickly.
Mm.
And to stay focused, to hone in on this gold that you're talking about, how can I practice more of that?
Yeah. So when you know specifically what it is you're looking to get to, you will find the answers that you need to find, right? Like one answer I would give, for example, having a coach, finding a coach to move you past some of the barriers that might be in your way. What a coach does is it helps you see blind spots that you may not have ever seen by yourself.
Mm.
And so I say we have infinite attention span under the right circumstances. If the
Yep.
circumstances are right, things start becoming a lot easier.
Yeah, I couldn't agree more. I thank you. Yeah, under the right circumstances, and you create your environment. When you understand that it's the environment is that which you have created already, and if you gotta change the salinity or the pH balance of it,
Yeah.
the alkalinity of it. There's so much information, so much knowledge out there, but the practical application at the point where you're talking about coaching leaders. Well, what do leaders do?
Leaders are always looking to be the best in what they're the best in already. They're always looking to upgrade. Like, a leader knows where they want to go. They have clarity in that. You don't have to say like, well, what do you want in your life? Like, they have an idea of where they want to go. And then they're putting in the support systems to hold themselves accountable.
So, okay, so I got to write that down, right? Accountability measures. Accountability measures. Hold themselves accountable. They set up things, spaces, people, places, things, constructs to hold them accountable. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah.
And a coach
Because
does that?
we go down to three things. Like usually if people are having trouble with something, it's usually down to three things. Their mindset, they can't think about it correctly, or they can't wrap their head around how to get through that barrier. The accountability piece, they're either lacking in accountability or giving some reason to why they're lacking in accountability, or they just don't have the strategy. They don't have the necessary strategy to move to where they need to go. And sometimes with those three things, they can be where they're at, but not to where they want to be without removing some of those barriers that are in their way. It's like you look at, I'll give a perfect example. They talk about employee minded versus entrepreneurial minded, right? And again, this is a general statement. So it's not to say like an entrepreneur is better than an employee or an employee is better than an entrepreneur. But I'm just doing a blanket statement in saying that I work for such and such amount per hour. So some people might think $25 an hour would be decent versus an entrepreneurial minded person might say, I don't like working per hour capita. I would rather have my time work for me instead of against me.
Yeah. You're talking about different mentalities of an entrepreneur or somebody who's worked. I haven't worked for somebody. I mean, we're all working. Why? You know what? I got to be honest with you, dude. The reality is the reason that I'm writing this book, Being the Authentic Self, is I am a real estate broker. I'm a developer, and I'm a holistic entrepreneur. I'm playing in the spaces of renewable energy. I'm playing in the spaces of empowerment and helping people, and I'm writing a book, and I'm doing all of these things and trying to. Father, I'm a husband, all of these things. I'm a damn farmer, man. I got a garden going, right? We're balancing life. And I don't want to go to work for somebody. That's just not I mean, so as an entrepreneur, am I leveraging my time, my talents, my space, my influence?
Yeah.
And what I'm seeing is my eyes open up as I'm paying attention. Okay. Those that are living their authentic life, they're like you were describing when you are just absolutely passionate about what it is you're doing and being that. And you are clear with yourself.
Mm-hmm.
You understand who it is you are and you want to be. You can't help but wake up and go to want to do that. And you just practice that every day and you keep doing that every day. And pretty soon you get comfortable in your own dang skin. And it doesn't matter if it's black, white, red, purple, pink, none of it. It's just all you.
Yeah.
And respecting, not just respecting, but training your mind and your heart to come into that alignment and see the divine in each one. That's presence, man. That's what you practice. I watch you practice that. And sometimes I'm really good at it and sometimes I'm not. I mean, that's just it comes and it goes.
Yeah.
There's a flow with it. I'm a human being, and man, sometimes I can be destructive. I have destructive energy. I recognize that I have all of it within me.
Mm-hmm.
And I want to harness that power within me to be the highest ideal of me and an observation of the highest ideal of humanity. That means I want to come out and see God in everyone, divine, you call it Buddha, call it Christ, call it whatever it is for you. And I know you because, man, there's that connection that you can't fake.
Hmm. Yeah.
But that's
Yeah. My,
only, go ahead.
my big thing is, because it's years and years of practice, I take the moment to get extremely present with the person. And it's one of the greatest gifts you can have. And honestly, I kind of fell into it off of a stroke of luck, a couple of strokes of luck saying, like, we're all going to die one day. So appreciate it.
Hmm.
Like, that's it. That's the answer I got. And so for years and years, and it's funny because people, they feel like you have to have something behind the curtain when you're treating them kindly, when you're being nice to them, when you're asking them, hey, what are your goals for 2020? Why are you trying to sell me something? Like, no, I'm just curious.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I get it, because that's the way it goes sometimes. Is it's like I have to get something from you. I don't have to get anything from anybody.
Mm-hmm.
I already got all the stuff that I need. I'm content. I'm
Yep.
happy. I love life. I just want them to do the same thing.
Yeah. Yeah, it's pretty fascinating when you're paying attention to what you're doing, you're seeing how it's working, and you're manifesting rapidly. It is
Oh,
just yeah. There's a little pause, but it's just a
there it
rapid
goes. It's starting to come back
manifestation.
slowly.
Yeah. Guess what I was saying is it's a rapid manifestation, and when you're paying attention, it happens so quickly that
Hmm.
I really appreciate it. What else can I say, Clifford? What can I do? How can I serve you? How can I how can I play with you more in your space? I come out and I say all I get to do for the rest of my life is
Uh-huh.
play with my friends, have a lot of fun, and make lots of money. I mean, energy is money.
Yeah.
Everything is energy,
Yeah.
and I've just found ways. I've found ways to use my skills and share the time and the energy with the people that feed my soul because I'm feeding their souls. And it's like this symbiotic relationship. We're all growing together and nurturing one another and holding accountability. So the three things I got from you on that was mindset, strategy, and accountability.
Yeah. Yeah. Everything. So you asked me how you could help me.
Yep.
Ultimately, so your 10-year-old daughter,
Mm-hmm.
right? And the pain that she's feeling.
She
Is
was. That was a few days back. I think we've
yeah,
gone through and in process.
good.
But yeah, it's every day, right? I mean,
Yeah.
okay. So I'm listening.
So so my dad told me when I was younger, he put me in front of the mirror and he goes, whatever happens in your life, good, bad, or indifferent, take responsibility. Now I take things and I coach myself through them, and I know not everyone is that way. So you probably your daughter better than anyone's gonna know. You and your wife are gonna know her better than anybody. So I don't know how she'll process it, but she has her own special message and her own special gift too. The fact that she's feeling the pain of what the society's going through is to be expected. But there's a strength and a gift in her, and I think each generation is supposed to get better than the last. Like, that's our job as parents. You know, I want my son to carry on the principles that I stand by and be better at them than I was. And I hope he does the same if he decides to have kids as well.
Clifford, my daughter's 10 years old and she's way beyond me. She got this already. You know, I'm here learning from her. I recognize now, and my older two, they, well, they got a different dad. That's all I can say. Man, a completely different person who was their dad. They still love me, and I love them both. I mean, they're just. I mean, I've never been in a better relationship with my children, with my wife, with my family, and it feels so damn good to
Mm-hmm.
me.
Yeah. Yeah, it's an amazing feeling. You know, I go back to that, just being present. There's not a feels really damn good. You know, taking the moment to just be in it.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I love when people can get authentic with me, because it's really, you know, I take my mask off and allow them to take their mask off. And they might not right away, but they'll end up taking it off, because I'm not coming at them in a judgmental way or saying, oh, you need to do this or you need to become this. Just be. Just be.
I think we kind of learn as we go, but if you can hitch your wagon with people that are going to support you in the highest ideal of you,
Mm-hmm.
people that see you there. And I think that's the key for me is, I keep surrounding myself with people that are smarter than me, or that are, well, not more than, I mean, we all have the same potential, but what I am doing is paying attention to the people that inspire me, that I would want to emulate. And again, I mean, I'm looking out to see God in everyone that's my job. That's
Mm-hmm.
that's my job. I get to show up as the highest ideal of me. And you know what? You might catch me on a bad day. That's a reality. My wife does all the time. I mean, imagine that. I mean, ones closest to you are the ones that, whew, thank God. The real story, right? You want the real juice.
Always. So I think it's important. I think it's absolutely important to be able to be as open as possible, because I think people can learn from the openness. Now, I will say there is the piece of where you said you wouldn't unload other people's dirty laundry, because I'm not about unloading people's dirty laundry. Daddy's on the phone, baby boy.
That had little me then this our new house right now.
Really?
Uh-huh.
Okay.
He gave it to us. I know he'll be take it out when you're done.
I will, baby boy. So, what? Oh, are you frozen again?
It must
Because it's not
be.
showing.
Meeting is now streaming live on Facebook. Is it still streaming? I was
I think it is.
Did it? It was still. I'm like, Hannah. She's probably playing Roblox. Upstairs, and I mean, yeah, it's supper time. It's all good, baby girl. It's all good.
Yeah, yeah. So what I was saying was, so not airing other people's dirty laundry, right? Without their permission, of course. But I think it's important to know that relationships have ups, downs, lefts, and rights. Like, it's not always this perfect, easy thing.
Yeah.
It's complicated.
Yeah, it is. Life gets messy, and you learn how to get, you learn how to be the highest ideal of you. That's at the end of the day. You surround yourself with people like you, and what else can I say?
Yeah, yeah.
I think I upset my daughter, honestly. I hear her above me.
How'd you do that?
I think when I raise my voice, It doesn't matter. Even in the tone, I've raised my voice. It's I'm not perfectly present in that moment with her face to face. There's a disconnect, so it requires me to be fully present. And I'm gonna go do that right now because you know why? She's the most important person in my world in this moment. And I love you, bro. I really do. And it's not that I couldn't just let her go her course. It's that I want her to know that she's fully supported, that I'm present. And so I got to go.
Absolutely.
So I'm going to be that.
All right. All right, brother. Well, good luck. Let me know how it goes.
All right. Aloha.
All right. You have a good one. I'll catch you later.